Collecting Pokemon cards is not a cheap hobby, but that doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot of money just to grow an impressive collection though. In this video, I'm going to go over different strategies that I do if I only had a $100 a month budget to spend on cards. Know your mission before you start your quest. Before we dive into spending strategies, let's talk about something that can save you from becoming one of those collectors with 47 half-completed binders and a confused expression. You need to know what you're actually collecting. Starting to collect cards without a clear goal is like trying to catch them all with your eyes closed. It's going to be expensive, frustrating, and likely to end with you wondering where all your money went. The key is developing immunity to what I call shiny card syndrome, that irresistible urge to buy every holographic card that catches your eye, regardless of whether it fits your collection. There are countless ways to approach collecting, but here are some focused strategies that work well on a budget. The Pokemon Purist approach. You could pick your favorite Pokemon and collect every card featuring that little guy. Whether it's Charizard because you're basic like that, Gengar because you have taste, or Bidoof because you're a person of culture, focusing on one Pokemon keeps your spending targeted and your collection more cohesive. The Artist Appreciation Method. Some collectors focus on specific artists like Shinji Kanda, whose artwork could make a Magikarp look majestic. This approach combines collecting with art appreciation, and you'll sound sophisticated at parties when you casually mention that you're a curated Pokemon art collector. The I want what I want philosophy. Sometimes the best strategy is the simplest one. Just collect cards that make you happy, but stay within budget. No rules, no themes, just pure enjoyment. It's like the Marie Kondo method, but for cardboard creatures. The beauty of having a clear collecting goal is that it acts as a natural filter for your spending. When you see that gorgeous special illustration rare Mewtwo, but you're building a grass type collection, it's easier to walk away, even though admittedly it's still painful. Now that you've got your collecting compass calibrated, let's explore the different paths that you can take with your $100 a month budget. And trust me, some of these strategies might surprise you with how far they can stretch your dollar. Strategy 1. The 70-30 split method. Playing both sides of the game. If you're the type of person who likes to have their cake and eat it too, and let's be honest, who doesn't, this 70-30 split method might be your perfect match. This strategy acknowledges two fundamental truths about Pokemon card collecting. You want to build a serious collection, but you also want to experience the thrill of opening and ripping up packs. The $70 collection building foundation. Here is where we get a bit sneaky with our approach. Instead of walking to Target and buying $70 worth of packs at retail, which, let's face it, might get you one Elite Trainer box if you're lucky, we're going to hunt for collections on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp and eBay. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find people selling their entire collections at around 70% of market value. I know what you're thinking, why would someone sell their cards for less than anything below market? Well, here's how it's been for me. You'd be surprised to know how many people just want their cards gone quickly. Maybe they're moving, maybe their spouse is tired of the cardboard invasion, or maybe they've discovered a new expensive hobby, like vintage wine or watch collecting. Here's how the magic works. You spend $70 on a collection worth $100 at market value, you keep the cards you actually want for your collection, then you trade or sell the rest at full market value. You've just turned $70 into $100 plus worth of cards that you actually want. Plus you've learned the ancient art of collection flipping. I've seen collectors use this method to acquire cards they never thought they could afford. One friend bought a collection for $65, kept a Charizard VMAX he'd been hunting for months, and traded the rest for enough value to fund his next two collection purchases. It's like a Pokemon card pyramid scheme, but legal and actually beneficial. The $30 pack ripping reserve. Now for the fun part. That remaining $30 is your inner child appeasement fund. You have two options here, and both have their merits. Option 1 is that you can save that $30 and combine it with next month's budget to buy something bigger like an Elite Trainer box or a premium collection box. This requires the patience of a monk and the self-control of someone who's never seen a booster pack display. Option 2, you can use it immediately for gratification by hunting down packs at MSRP. This is where tools like PokeNotify become your best friend, and yes, they're sponsoring this video, but they're genuinely useful. Set up alerts for restocks at Target, Walmart, and when you get a notification, you can purchase it straight from your phone online. The key is finding packs at around $5 each. Anything more and you're paying the I need this now tax. Major retail stores often have sleeve packs at MSRP prices, and this 70-30 split gives you the best of both worlds, strategic collecting building and the dopamine hit of pack opening. But what if you're more of a cut straight to the chase type of collector? That's where our next strategy comes in. Strategy 2, the singles first approach, surgical precision collecting. If the 70-30 method feels too complicated and you prefer your collecting strategy with the precision of a surgeon and the efficiency of a Japanese trained schedule, then the singles first approach is calling your name. This method is for collectors who look at booster packs and think, why gamble when I can just buy exactly what I want? The $80 targeted acquisition fund. With $80 dedicated to singles, you become a sniper rather than a spray and pray collector. This approach requires you to do your homework though, research which cards you actually want, track their prices, and strike when the market conditions are favorable. Here's a pro tip that could save you serious money. Card prices typically drop 2 to 4 weeks after a set releases. When a new set drops, everyone's excited, demand is high, and prices are inflated faster than a Jigglypuff using Inflate. But patience, young grasshopper. Wait for the initial hype to die down, and you'll often find those chase cards at much more reasonable prices. Focus on 1 to 2 sets maximum. I cannot stress this enough. The Pokemon Company releases new sets every few months, and trying to collect everything is like trying to drink from a fire hose while riding a unicycle. Theoretically, it's possible, but you're probably going to get wet and fall over. Resist the FOMO or fear of missing out that whispers, but what if this set has the next chase card? Newsflash, there will always be another exciting set. There will always be another chase card, but there won't always be money in your bank if you chase every single new release. Your $80 can go surprisingly far when you spend it wisely. You could get several mid-tier cards from one target set, or one really nice chase card like I'll mention later on in this video, or you can get a combination that fills specific gaps within your collection. The beauty of buying singles is that every purchase moves you closer to your goal, unlike pack opening where you might end up with your 47th copy of the same common card. The $20 Sanity Preservation Fund. Even the most disciplined singles collectors need a little chaos in their life, so that remaining $20 is like your pack therapy budget, just enough to scratch that opening itch without derailing your entire strategy. You can either use this $20 monthly for a few packs, again hunt for those MSRP prices, or save it up for a couple months to buy something more substantial. Think of it as your collecting safety valve. When the urge to rip packs becomes overwhelming, you have a designated fund that won't mess up your main strategy. This approach works particularly well for collectors who have specific goals and the discipline to stick with them. But what if you're more interested in the social aspect of collecting and want to build relationships within your community? That's where our next strategy comes into play. Strategy 3, the trading snowball, building relationships and collections simultaneously. If you're the type of person who believes that the best part of any hobby is the people you meet along the way, then the trading snowball method might be your perfect fit. This strategy treats your initial $100 not as a one-time purchase, but as the seed money for a growing network for trades and relationships. For example, in month 1, you can lay your foundation. Your entire $100 can go towards purchasing a discounted collection, ideally at 70% of market value or better. And this might seem like putting all your eggs in one basket, but you're not just buying cards, you're buying trading ammunition. Once you've acquired your collection, the real work begins. Sort everything by set, rarity, and condition, create a detailed inventory, and this isn't just for organization's sake, it's intelligence gathering. You need to know exactly what you have, what it's worth, and what you're willing to part with. This sorting process often reveals hidden gems. That pile of junk cards might contain a card that someone desperately needs to complete their master set, or it's a highly valued card right now in competitive play, or to train a card that's perfect for someone else. In the trading world, one person's bulk is another person's treasure. In months 2 to 3, the snowball gains momentum, and here's where the magic happens. You start trading your duplicates and unwanted cards at 100% market value, even though you acquired them at 70%. And this isn't being dishonest, you're providing value by having the specific cards people want and are willing to trade for them. Building relationships with local collectors becomes crucial during this phase. Attend trade nights at card shops, join local Facebook groups, and don't be afraid to strike up conversations with other collectors. I've seen collectors turn a $100 collection into $300 worth plus of cards that they actually wanted within a couple of months using this method. The key is being patient, fair, and consistent in your trading activities. But what if you're not interested in the social aspect of collecting and prefer a more direct approach? What if you want to go big or go home with that $100? That brings us to our final, most aggressive strategy. Strategy 4, the power card gambit. Go big or go home. Sometimes the best strategy is the boldest one. If you're the type of collector who believes that one amazing card is worth more than a dozen mediocre ones, then the power card gambit might be your calling. This approach is simple in concept but requires nerves of steel. Use your entire $100 budget to acquire 1 to 2 high value cards. This strategy acknowledges a fundamental truth about collecting. Sometimes it's better to have one card you absolutely love than a binder full of cards that you're lukewarm about. It's the collecting equivalent of buying one really nice suit instead of 5 cheap ones. There can be something deeply satisfying about owning a genuinely valuable or rare card. Every time you open your binder and see that special illustration rare Charizard or that pristine vintage Mew, you get a little hit of pride and joy. It's a quality over quantity approach that can be incredibly rewarding. The downside, of course, is that your collection will look pretty sparse initially. You might have 1 or 2 amazing cards, and then that's it to begin with. This requires patience and a long-term perspective. You're building a collection at one premium piece at a time, like assembling a museum exhibit rather than filling a warehouse. If you do decide to choose this route, research becomes absolutely critical. You need to identify cards that not only fit your collecting goals, but also have strong long-term value retention. Look for cards featuring popular Pokemon, cards with exceptional artwork, or cards with historical significance in the trading card game. Consider factors like condition carefully. A near mint card might cost more upfront, but it'll hold its value better than a lightly played condition card. This strategy works particularly well for collectors who plan to eventually get their cards graded. A PSA 9 or 10 grade can significantly increase a card's value, turning your $100 investment into something much more substantial over time. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and sustainability. Each month, you add 1 premium card to your collection, and after a year, yes, 12 high-quality cards that form the backbone of an impressive collection. After 2 years, you'll have a collection that most people would be envious of. This method also makes it easier to stay within budget. Instead of being tempted to buy multiple smaller purchases, you have one clear goal each month. It's harder to justify impulse buys when you're saving for something specific and significant. Now, regardless of which strategy appeals to you most, there's one skill that's absolutely crucial for maximizing your $100 budget, and that's finding cards at MSRP. Let me share some techniques to hunt those elusive retail price packs. The MSRP hunting game plan. Finding cards at MSRP is like finding a shiny Pokemon in the wild. Rare, exciting, and absolutely crucial for you to succeed as a budget collector. Now, the difference between paying $4 for a pack and paying $8 for a pack can literally double your collecting power. So mastering the art of MSRP hunting is non-negotiable. The online MSRP game is all about timing and preparation. Pokemon Center drops typically between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on weekdays, often with little warning. It's like they're testing your dedication to the hobby. Are you willing to set phone alerts and potentially excuse yourself from meetings for the chance at retail price cards? Target's online drops are beautifully chaotic in my opinion. They'll randomly restock at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday or during lunch on a Thursday with no discernible pattern. This is where services like PokeNotify become invaluable. Instead of refreshing Target's website every 5 minutes like some sort of cardboard-obsessed day trader, you can set up alerts and go about your life until opportunity knocks. Walmart has settled into somewhat a predictable pattern of Wednesday evening restocks between 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's not guaranteed, but it's consistent enough that Walmart Wednesday has become a thing in collecting circles. Mark your calendar and be prepared for battle. The in-person MSRP hunt requires a different skill set, part detective work, part social engineering, and part pure luck. The key is integrating card hunting into your regular routine rather than making special trips that waste time and gas. Grocery shopping at Target, take a detour through the toy section. Getting a prescription at Walgreens, check their card display. Picking up dinner near a GameStop, you know what to do. This approach maximizes your chances while minimizing your effort. The hardest part of MSRP hunting is resisting the urge to pay inflated prices when you can't find retail price products. It's tempting to pay $8 for a pack when you really want to open something, but that's exactly how you blow through your budget in record time. Remember, there will always be more cards, the Pokemon company keeps printing, stores keep restocking, and your patience will eventually be rewarded. The collectors who consistently find good deals are the ones who can walk away from the bad one. The $100 budget killers. What not to do. Don't chase every new set like a Pokemon trainer with ADHD. The Pokemon company releases new sets every 2 to 3 months, and each one comes with its own marketing, preview videos, and promises of amazing chase cards. It's designed to make you feel like you need to collect every single set or you're somehow failing as a collector. Here's the truth, you don't need to collect every set. In fact, trying to do so is the fastest way to spread your budget so thin that you end up with incomplete collections of everything and mastery of nothing. Pick 1 to 2 sets that genuinely excite you and ignore the rest until you actually complete those. Yes, you might miss out on some cool cards, but you'll actually complete the sets you care about. Avoid overpriced local card shop sealed products. Local card shops are great for singles, community events, and supporting small businesses. They're not great for your budget when it comes to sealed products. That Elite Trainer box that costs $50 or $60 at Target might be $100 plus at your local shop. And I understand that they have overhead, but your $100 budget doesn't care about their rent. Use local card shops for what they do best: singles, trade nights, and community building. Buy your sealed products elsewhere unless you're feeling particularly charitable or they happen to have something at a reasonable price. Never buy loose packs from unknown sellers. This should be obvious, but apparently it needs to be said. Don't buy loose booster packs from random people online or at flea markets. These packs can be weighed, searched, or even resealed. You're essentially paying full price for the privilege of getting scammed. If you're going to gamble on packs, at least make sure you're getting legitimate, untampered with products. Purchases. Skip the FOMO purchases. Fear of missing out is the collector's worst enemy, and that voice in your head that says this might be the last time this product is available, or what if this Pokemon becomes the next Pokemon 151, is usually lying to you. The Pokemon Company has gotten much better at reprinting popular products, even if something sells out initially. There's a good chance it'll be restocked. Your $100 budget is too precious to waste on panic purchases at inflated prices. Don't ignore your collecting goals. Remember that collecting focus we talked about at the beginning of this video? Make sure to stick with that. That shiny Charizard might look amazing, but if you're building a grass type, it's an expensive distraction. Every dollar you spend on cards that don't fit your goals is a dollar you can't spend on cards that do. This is probably the hardest rule to follow because our brains are wired to want shiny, rare things. But discipline is what separates successful collectors from sticking to their budget from people with expensive piles of random cards. Now, as a bonus strategy, here's something that most collecting guides won't tell you. With the right approach, your Pokemon card hobby can actually fund itself. I'm not talking about quitting your day job to become a full-time cardboard dealer, but rather than using smart buying and selling to generate extra collecting funds. The basic concept is simple. Buy collections below market value, keep the ones that you want, and sell the rest at market value. The profit from your sales can fund future purchases, effectively increasing your monthly collecting budget beyond that initial $100. I'm documenting this process right now in my series of building a Pokemon business to 100K collection. You can watch the first video after this video here. For example, if you buy a $100 collection for $70, keep $30 worth of cards for yourself, and sell the remaining $70 worth of cards for full market value, you've essentially gotten $30 worth of cards for free while breaking even on cash. This approach requires more time and effort than simple collecting, but it can be incredibly rewarding, both financially and socially. You'll learn more about card values, meet other collectors, and develop that make you a smarter buyer overall. If you're interested in exploring this side hustle approach, I have detailed videos on selling Pokemon cards that cover everything from platform selection to pricing strategies. You can watch it right over here.